Hi Ellie, I thought I'd just record a quick video because I really like this question. I've not seen it before, and there's two ways really of going about this. You can either count the number of squares and work out the nth term sequence from that, or you can look at the pictures. Now if I look at this picture, the first picture, I can see that I've got a 3 by 3 square in the middle, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares on the outside. The next pattern, I've got a 4 by 4 square, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares on the outside. And if I look here again, I've got a 5 by 5 square with 6 squares on the outside. So I could describe this. This is 3 squared plus 6. This is 4 squared plus 6, and this is 5 squared plus 6. So what do they all have in common? Well, they're all a number squared, and the plus 6 is constant. So I know my sequence is going to have plus 6 in it. Now, if we look at this, is pattern 1, but it's 3 squared. This is pattern 2, but it's 4 squared. This is pattern 3, but it's 5 squared. So if I wanted the pattern in terms of n, where n is the number in the sequence, then whatever the number in the position in the sequence is, if I add 2, I will get to the number that I want to be squared. So if I add 2 to 2, I get 4 and I square it. If I add 2 to 3, I get 5 and I'd square it. So n plus 2 squared plus 6. Does that make sense? So whatever position in the sequence I want, I add 2 to it. Then I need the brackets here because I need to square whatever I get, and then I need to add 6. Another way of doing it is by counting how many squares. So in pattern, just write this out. In pattern 1, I've got, that would be 9 plus 6, so that gives me 15. In pattern 2, I've got 16 plus 6, so that's 22. And in pattern 3, I've got 25 plus 6, which is 31. So if I look at the difference here, this is add 7, this is add 9. So I haven't got a constant difference. This is add 2. So it would be a constant second difference. So I know that my sequence is going to be a little bit like n squared. N squared would be 1, 4, 9, but the sequence I've got is 15, 22, and 31. If I look at the difference between those two sequences, I get 14, 18, and 22. Now I need to find the nth term for this sequence. So 14 to 18 is add 4, 18 to 22 is add 4. So I've got a common difference, so this is a linear sequence, and the common difference is always the multiplier for my n. So this sequence would be 4n. It doesn't start with 4, it starts with 14. So it'll be 4n plus 10. And the way to check that you've done this right, if you put your finger over the n, 4 plus 10 gives me 14. So now I can combine these two sequences together. So n squared is a plus 4, so plus 4n plus 10. Now, it looks very different to that one, but it is the same. Let's just expand this bracket. N plus 2, if I was to square that out, I would get n squared plus 2n plus another 2n, that would be 4n plus 4. 2 times 2 is 4. Not forgetting I've now got to add 6 onto that as well, which would give me the 10 here. So you can either write your answer like this, or you can give your answer like that. It really doesn't matter. But I did like this question because it's visually, you don't need to do this process. You can work it out just by using some sort of logical reasoning skills.